So Rolling Stone magazine just put out the 70 greatest Beyonce songs. Now the top 10 wasn't that bad. I had a few quibbles here and there, but it's not. I did not agree with number one. So I'm putting it out there. I did not agree with number one. Really, the biggest complaint I had was like some of the songs that were placed in the 30s and 40s. I thought were kind of low, but I'll get to that later. So let me get into this list. Number 10, Dangerously in Love 2. Number 9, Single Ladies. Number 8, Love Drought. Number 7, Partition. Number 6, Me, Myself, and I. Let me tell you something about that song. Whenever that video's on, I'm watching it. I love that video. Number 5, Love on Top. Number 4, Sorry, the live version. Number 3, Crazy in Love, which would have been my number 1. Number 2, Formation. And number 1, Deja Vu with Jay-Z. Now listen, Deja Vu with Jay-Z is a fine song, but ain't no way in heck that song is better than Crazy in Love. No way. If I was still a DJ and they say, hey, Kev, you can only play one Beyonce song, but you have to choose between Deja Vu and Crazy in Love, I'm choosing Crazy in Love. The horns, da, 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 and that, oh, you can't go wrong with that. Deja Vu is fine. It's fine. I got nothing against that song, but come on, man. Crazy in Love is a so classic. So if you had to choose, if they say, hey, you got to put a Jay-Z and Beyonce song at number 1, I would have chose Drunk in Love. If they said I had to choose a Jay-Z and Beyonce song to be a number 1 and it can't be Crazy in Love, I'm choosing Drunk in Love. You can't go wrong on that song. But okay, fine. Going back to Crazy in Love for a second. So if people who don't know, that song was produced by Rich Harrison, who was a fine producer in the 2000s. And Rich Harrison, if you didn't know, produced all of Amerie's debut album, which featured, it changes all the time, my favorite Amerie song of all time, Why Don't We Fall in Love? I can't, it's the shortest song, but it just floats. Her vocals just floats on that song. Oh, I love that song. And so Rich Harrison also produced most of Amerie's second album, which featured One Thing. Amazing video, amazing song. And you would think after One Thing, it was such a great track. You kind of figure, well, Amerie's about to blow up hard on her third album. For some reason, when Rich Harrison produced Crazy in Love with Beyonce, and he did some other tracks with her too, he stopped working with Amerie. Amerie's career got totally derailed after that song. Amerie should have been Beyonce's peer for a while, right? You know, because Beyonce's been around a lot longer than everybody. But she should have been like her peer for a minute. And it just seemed like, it's like they told Rich, you can work with Beyonce or work with Amerie. You can't work with them both. It's like, this is amazing. Why can't... Oh. So I like to apologize to Amerie. I don't know why your career got derailed, but I love you and I love the songs you put out. You are a fantastic artist and we should never forget you. But back to Beyonce. So yeah, Deja Vu should not have been number 1. And so while I was going down the list of like, well, where's some of these other songs at? I already mentioned like Drunk in Love. They had Drunk in Love at number 13. Freakum Dress, which I haven't heard in a long time, was number 56. Ape-ish with the Carters was number 57. Baby Boy with Sean Paul was number 40. 40. Halo was 34. Halo's a really good song. Like I figured that would be at least in the top 20. Run the World Girls. You know, when I saw Dangerously in Love 2 at number 10 and Run the World was 32, you could have very easily put Run the World at number 10. It's not one of my favorite Beyonce songs, but I know a lot of people like it. So it's crazy that that song's so low. Cuff It was 29. Cuff It was 29. Check it out, which I haven't heard in a long time, with Bun B was 16. I forgot that was off the Pink Panther soundtrack. Get Me Bodied was number 11. What else? Irreplaceable was number 14. Irreplaceable was number 14. Now, for hip hop and R&B stations, they kind of, they program for teens and kids in college and all that stuff, which is fine. But I'm telling you guys need to play some of these old Beyonce songs, especially like Get Me Bodied and Check It Out. And even Deja Vu. Like, you guys need to play these songs. I don't think, kids got a lot of ways of listening to these songs these days, but they kind of listen to the same stuff over and over. So I think just like I heard Parliament Funkadelic songs like back in the 90s, what else? Like the Blackbirds, James Brown stuff. Like, I think it's imperative for you programmers to play old Beyonce tracks, old Amerie tracks, old Rihanna tracks, old Neptune's tracks. Like, I think these kids got to realize, like, hey, there's music that came before you that you should kind of check out. So what do you think about the list? Like I said, the top 10 wasn't bad. Like, I definitely would have kicked out Dangerously in Love. Love Drop, I would have kicked out. And I want to put some of these other songs in. One of the songs, I couldn't find it. Like her song that she did with Lady Gaga, like Telephone. I didn't see that song on there. I didn't see the song, and maybe I skipped it. I didn't see the song she did with Shakira. I really that video's amazing. But tell me your top 5. What are your top 5 Beyonce songs? Do I have it wrong? Is Deja Vu your number one Beyonce song of all time? Maybe I had it right. Maybe it is Crazy in Love. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a song I didn't even mention that's your favorite Beyonce song of all time. And tell me about the Rolling Stone list. Did they get their top 10 right? Or do you think they should have, or there's some songs they should have kicked out? Even like Single Ladies. Like Single Ladies, if they would have had Single Ladies at 1 instead of 9, I would have gone with that. That whole Put a Ring on It. Like, I would have been fine with that. It's okay, I get it. But you tell me, do you like this list? Do you hate this list? What's your top 5?